Welcome back to Life Unfiltered. This was an unscheduled episode that we put together quickly with Nechama Diskin, who is a mother, wife, and Chabad emissary, Shlucha, in Pacific Palisades. We wanted to organize this quickly to address the needs of families, communities, or anyone that's affected by the recent Palisades fire. In this episode, we're going to cover Nechama's story and ways that you can help and get involved. This episode and our little surprise at the end is made possible by Yaffie Begun Wigs, boasting the highest quality unprocessed virgin South American hair. Yaffie chooses each strand, personally making sure it's premium quality. When you buy a Yaffie wig, you're getting superior standard of hair at affordable prices. Visit Yaffie Begun Wigs on Instagram or click the link in the show notes. The wig provided in today's episode will be customized, tailored, and serviced by wig expert Leah Luxon of Salon Leah in Brooklyn, New York. Click the link in the show notes to find out more about Leah and her incredible work. On a personal note about Yaffie and Leah, not only are they both extremely talented professional business owners, they are givers in every sense, women who step up without being asked, community builders, and immensely generous spirits, and I'm proud to call them friends. Welcome in.
Thank you.
Under these circumstances, it's incredible that you could be here. I mean, I think we both knew this wouldn't be your first pick of things to do today, but I think people want to know really what's happening, and who better to hear it from than a community leader, a mom, a wife, right, and somebody who's really just experienced kind of the worst of it. First question: when was the last time you slept?
Funny enough, Sunday night was last time I slept because Monday night, we bring down girls to help us with the shluchas, which is the preschool or after school programs and just holiday programs. And one of the girls was going to the IDF. And I tried to convince her not to go and to stay the year. I'm like, you can enroll. The IDF is always taking people. But she got in and she's like, okay, December I'm out. So
Where
January.
do you bring them down from?
So New York, Florida, depending on the year.
Okay.
So basically she was like, okay, I was hoping all over winter break. I was not sleeping before that. Probably since maybe Hanukkah, because I've been worried about this situation with the girls of having teachers and their after school programs and the preschool. And I'm like, what am I going to do? I hope she doesn't get into the IDF because it's kind of selfish, but I'm like, please come back. And basically when I got the news Monday, she's like, I booked my ticket to Israel because we were hoping maybe things wouldn't go through. I mean, she knows that.
I was like, well, now she knows it now.
She knows. And I was hoping that it wouldn't go through. And then Monday night, she told me Nechama, I booked my ticket to Israel. So I'm like, okay, that's it. So I had another girl and I knew it's not possible to live by yourself. You can't. So I'm writing on every group I'm on. Anyone know a girl looking for something for the next, through June? Everywhere. And I'm up all night, what? Okay, I need to find someone. What am I going to do? This girl's going to leave. And then I'm okay, and then what? So she leaves, and then what?
Wait, how many kids are in the preschool?
So close to 100 kids in the preschool. But we have a lot of teachers.
Right.
And then these girls really bring a lot of the Judaism into the classroom and stuff like that.
Yeah.
So then it was crazy. And the whole night I'm just texting people and people are oh, this idea, that idea. And things actually were coming to me. I'm great, okay, who knows? And people are calling me this, that. So I did not sleep Monday night. Tuesday morning, so Tuesday afternoon is when we have our after school program. And it was going to be our first day back after winter break.
Okay.
So
this last Tuesday, the start of... Okay.
Yeah.
Right.
So I had a doctor's appointment, so I headed to the city, and on my way back, I was going to pick up at Trader Joe's hot chocolate, not hot chocolate, the chocolate milk they have,
yeah,
to make hot chocolate for the kids, just something nice, exciting, coming back, welcome back, something exciting. I got a text from this girl, Masya, and she says, Nechama, what are we doing for JEC, which is Jewish Enrichment Club, our after-school program? Because the winds are crazy outside, and the preschool kids are not going outside because the winds are too strong, and there's smells of smoke. So what are we doing?
What time was this at?
Probably around like 10 something,
10
10,
like in the morning.
10:30.
Interesting. I wasn't here that morning. I flew in. So like I actually don't like the whole build up to this whole thing. I missed it completely. You guys must have been getting heads up. Were your phones were you getting any
So
sort of
evacuation, not yet.
Right.
So we are really blessed to live right next door to the fire. Not live. Well, I live up the block from Chabad, but our Chabad is next door to the fire station, which is really great. We go there to like like our friendship circle did with their kids and the volunteers. They made cookies and brought it to the fire station in camp. They'll give us a tour, or like if there's an emergency, they're right there.
Yeah. Apparently, it's very good to be friends with your local fire department.
Yeah, no, 100%. I mean, we live up the block, and I've taken my kids, and they're so nice.
Yeah.
But interesting, they say if you have an emergency, still call 911 before going there.
Right.
Because if they're not there,
Right.
then like they can't help you.
Right. That makes sense.
So I get this call and I'm like, okay, we'll figure this out. When I come back to Chabad, I'll talk to you. We'll figure it out. I hang up with her, and as I'm leaving Trader Joe's, I see like a pillar of smoke, like in that direction of the Palisades. And my husband calls me. He's like, Nechama, I think we may need to evacuate. The fire department just came over, and we're sending out to all the parents on Brightwheel, which is our communication app.
Yeah.
That we're evacuating. So I was like, okay, does that mean we have to evacuate? Like, what does that mean? So he said, okay, come to Chabad and we'll talk. As I come, it's not chaos, it's organized chaos, because parents are coming, running, grabbing their kids. My husband was directing people in the parking lot. There's a school called Calvary, which is like probably half a mile away. They had evacuated all their kids to Los Leones. Have you been there before? Like the hiking trail?
Yes, I know what you're
So
talking
we're Sunset and Los Leones.
Okay.
So they evacuated all their students there. And I don't know if you've seen the pictures of the cars that were left behind.
I have seen that.
So
Is that
parents,
Los Leones?
so that's Sunset.
Right.
Parents and people had to leave their cars to go get their kids.
But
Because what happened was the fire was coming.
right.
And the gridlock, they didn't have something like, it's a lot of unanswered questions, but there was no traffic control to like direct people. It was crazy.
I guess how would you get traffic control up there though if everyone has to be evacuated?
Just to direct people.
Right, that's true.
So I get to Chabad, and my husband's directing traffic, and I was like, okay, I'm going home. I'm going to pack some stuff, and my kids were still in school. Teachers were still there, and then I'll come back, and we'll see like what the next steps are. If we need to leave right away.
What time was this at?
This was probably around 11.
Okay.
So I go home. I call my mom, like, Mom, what do I need to take? She's like, Nechama, take 2 pairs of clothes, 2 pairs of pajamas, because that way you'll be able to do laundry. Take your deodorant, like whatever you need. Like, let's say you're going for 2 days. Just do that. She's like, you know what? We may even be back tonight. And I was like, okay. So I packed. Crazy thing is, my daughter, she's turning 1 on Thursday. We finally decided we're getting her out of my room, sleep training her. So we have attached to our bedroom, there's like it was a patio, and they made it into a room. You know those type of rooms?
Yeah.
So we're like, okay, we're putting it in there. And like, it had become like a junk collection.
There's always one room in every
storage,
house.
everything, put it there. So my husband had literally just cleared that space.
Yeah.
And the suitcase was taken out from like the last trip. So there's no suitcase. We had to go like we're in a condo, and they have storage for every unit.
Yeah.
So I was like, okay, we have to get the suitcase. I said, okay, I'm gathering everything, and when I'm gonna come back, get you and the kids, and then you'll get the suitcase and we'll pack.
Are you feeling kind of calm right now? Like, how are you? Are you somebody that's good in chaos, or?
It's funny. Usually I get really anxious, but somehow I was calm-ish, so to say.
Okay.
My husband, who's usually the calm one,
Yeah.
he was like on it, like, let's go.
He must have sensed something.
Yeah, and it's funny because I got all this stuff. I'm like, okay, take the cash, take the jewelry. I grabbed my shaitel because it had to get done.
Okay.
And I'm like, okay, we're anyways going to Pico area. Like, I drop it off. So we pack everything, and then I'm like, and then also, I was like, should we take the carriage, like the like our travel carriage, not our actual carriage is gone, but the travel carriage, like the yo-yo that I have for my oldest kid. I'm like, hey, let's just take it because if we're like on the go, it's just more convenient than like a doona. So took that, strapped her in, took them down, and I was collecting upstairs. I'm like, as he's leaving, I said, do we take our silver? He's like, Nechama, we got to go. But post PS, like, it's better. Like, imagine schlepping silver around right now. Like,
I don't think you're supposed to take that anymore. I was curious and asking everyone like what they took.
and so we took 2 pairs of clothes.
Yeah.
Ketubah.
You took your ketubah?
You're supposed to, because like if it gets burnt, you have to redo it. Though officially some of the rabbis keep a copy in case of emergencies.
But do they? We'll never know.
Our rabbi said he does.
Okay, that's good.
So,
but
we
I
got
love
lucky.
that you took that.
So I always told my husband we should have a box where everything is. So we took birth certificates, social, passports, ketubah, cash. Not my kids' Hanukkah money. That's burnt. Whatever. So then.
So are you seeing like?
Oh, on the way out. Like,
but you're seeing the chaos of buildup of cars. So how are you even thinking you're going to get out?
Because
like,
we're very lucky. We're like 2 blocks from PCH.
Oh, okay.
So the chaos was behind getting to PCH because people were trying to get from the Highlands. I don't know if you're familiar with that area.
No.
In the Palisades, it's up. That's actually where the fire started.
Right.
Is up a mountain. My parents
so everyone's
used to
coming
live there.
down.
There's people coming down from there. There's people coming from the village, like because people had to get kids from their schools.
Right.
Because there's Waldorf, there's Calvary, there's our school, and Marquez, which is the public school, which was absolute chaos getting out. I think a mom told me that they like put kids on buses, but I'm not 100% sure, so whatever. So
you're having an idea.
So as I'm leaving,
I'm
like, okay, I'm taking a video of my house because just in the back of my mind, like insurance, like, I don't know, you want to know what's in your house. I'm like, but I was so embarrassed because my house was a mess. And I'm like, so many crazy things. I have this really good friend and she organizes houses. And I keep telling her, Sharon, I need you to come to my house and organize my house. Like, I need it. But every time, and she's like, of course, any day, tell me. But every time I'm like, no, actually come to Chabad because there's a lot to organize there.
Right.
So after like I found out, I'm like, Sharon, your job's over. So starting from scratch.
The crazy thing is that like there's a whole ecosystem that really happens in LA. I mean, all these communities, right? Like you just think about where everybody shops, where everyone buys things, where everyone goes to school, all the people that work for these families. It's an entire web that people haven't even probably begun to comprehend.
1,000,000%. I mean, my housekeeper, I love her. She's the sweetest lady. She comes to me on Fridays, my sister on Mondays.
I know.
And she's been in part of the Palisades for years because a family friend who was actually in the preschool, when they moved to, maybe Oregon they moved, or Washington, like one of the states up there, they put on Nextdoor app, oh, we have this amazing nanny, housekeeper. And I was like, I'll take her. And I love her, Vanessa. Shout out to you. Like, she's my savior.
Well, so
I'm like, anyways, she's amazing. So
you're seeing this chaos build up. Your husband's kind of getting a little bit antsy. You're seemingly doing okay at this stage. Are you really thinking in the back of your mind you're going home later or tomorrow?
No.
Oh,
because I was telling my head, like I took this video, I'm like, I'll delete it if we come back because this is embarrassing.
Right. Oh my God. I can't believe is this not the plight of women though? Like you're fleeing potentially for your life and you're like embarrassed to take the video of your house because it might be messy. And like people wonder why we're stressed.
Oh,
you know?
I mean, I'm like a perfectionist and like I hate mess. But unfortunately, like my house is a mess.
Can I take you back for 1 second?
Okay, sure.
I'm going to stop us right at the pinnacle. What's your family size? Give us your little bit of who is your family?
Okay, so I am the oldest of 11 kids. I was born and raised in the Palisades. My father actually was there before he got married.
Okay.
And then when my parents got married, they moved during Sheva Brachos. My mother always says she made her Shabbos Sheva Brachos, which is like the celebrations after.
Yeah.
For the week after the wedding.
So your parents are Palisades people, you're Palisades, like everybody is this.
Palisades is my life. They're my family. And like, the whole thing is unbelievable. Like, unbelievable how just in the blink of an eye, gone, 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 gone. Like, it's not just my home that's gone. It's my family, my friends, my community. It's crazy. It's really crazy. Like, my life. It's actually my life. So we got married in 2019. No, sorry, 2018 we got married. It's almost our 7th anniversary. And we lived in New York for like probably around 18 months.
Okay.
And after my son was born, we moved down to be the youth and family program directors.
Okay. Did you always know that you were going to like go be a, Chabad emissary and start a Chabad house?
So my husband and I, we always wanted to, but we're also practical. So we had to make sure that it would be the right fit. So we didn't just like come. We looked into it, saw the options, made sure, came to an agreement, made sure it was the right fit. So we moved down, and then my sister and brother-in-law, they moved down also. They spent some time in New York. Actually, they got married right before COVID, like a month, like January, I think. I mean, not January, February. I don't remember where they're at. Basically, weeks before COVID.
I didn't realize you were a veteran of the Palisades.
Yeah. Born and raised. Like, Palisades is my home.
My God.
So my sister and her husband, they run the Friendship Circle and the teen programs.
Okay.
And then my brother and sister-in-law moved down a year ago, and my sister-in-law teaches in the preschool, and she does like the women's programming, and my brother does adult education. And then there's an area in the Palisades, the village.
Yeah.
So he'll do like a minyan there, which is like dominate, like let's say for Rosh Hashanah, people that will
Right.
walk, that they don't want to walk all the way to our Chabad, which is about 4 miles from the village.
Right. So he creates like a little.
So he has like a small thing in someone's house, which is like a miracle story, because he does a minyan in the village. And so someone had a Torah in their house. And that Torah was dedicated by a family, and the yard site of the person it was dedicated was just now. So they took the Torah out of the house to Chabad. And had they not taken it out, it would have been burnt. Because in the chaos, we wouldn't have been like, oh, there's a Torah in that house, and that house is gone.
Is everybody that you know in the Palisades house gone?
So I want to say 90 to 95%. It's not whose house is gone, it's whose house is standing.
Right.
And even those that are standing, you can't go back right now.
Right.
And even when you can go back, what are you going back to?
Right. That's what I was thinking.
It's a war zone. Actual war zone.
Have you been back to see it?
I've not, and I'm kind of like, do I want to go back? I mean, I want to go back for kind of like closure, or I don't know what, but everyone I speak to, they say, Nechama, you see the videos, it's worse than the videos.
Yeah.
And my husband keeps saying, you exaggerate on the news. No, this is worse in real life. So whatever you see, think worse. Yeah. So yeah.
And your immediate family, you're married, how many children?
So we have 3 kids.
Okay.
Baruch
How
Hashem.
ages?
5-year-old, an almost 4-year-old, and then my baby's turning 1 this week.
You have a baby.
Yeah.
All right. Let's go back. So 3 children, husband, Palisades, forever. You are starting to realize you need to get out. You're gathering all your things. Who do you get first? You have your children near you?
Okay, so my son was in Cheder, which is the boys' school, because he's in elementary.
So that's like, but that's not close.
Like, no, that's like La Cienega.
Right.
So he's there, thank God. My 2 kids are with us.
Okay.
Because they were in preschool, and preschool's at Chabad.
Okay.
So they're with us.
So you only had to get to 1 child.
And not even, because my
right.
husband was there
Keep
at the
him,
office.
Oh, and also you would leave him in the areas that probably weren't. It was better down in La Cienega at his school than it was
Right.
where
Yeah,
you would probably.
it was better that he was there.
Yeah.
Stay in school till we need to pick you up, basically.
Yeah. So what happens next?
So what happens next, funny, because as I said, I was looking for another girl to come be part of the preschool, and someone happened to be here, and she seemed like a good option. So I'm like, you know what? I'm evacuating. This girl who's here already is evacuating. Why don't we meet at Munchies? Like,
No, stop it. You scheduled a work meeting? Have you ever had those personality tests taken? Like, what is your personality? Because I think there's some clarity there. So you planned this meeting. Did you end up having it?
of course. I'm crazy. I know. I'm a workaholic, but like, it's my life.
So you leave, you take your 2 kids with you, and you go to have this meeting.
Okay, so before the meet, so I said I have to drop off my sheitel, which is my wig. because I had to get it cleaned regularly. And because that, I don't know if I told you, but as we were leaving, there was a bagel. My husband had put a bagel in a toaster because they didn't serve lunch at school because they had been picked up earlier. And as I'm leaving, I'm like, Shalom Bear, do I put cream cheese and hard cheese inside the bagel? He's like, Nechama, get out. So
you didn't
we
want to
went.
go.
I did not want to go. It's just like, okay, I'm here. Let me
Yeah.
just finish. I like put away the ground meat into the fridge because it was out to be able to make dinner. And like the strawberries that we were like about to wash, like in the fridge. I don't want any, like if I'm not going to be here for the next 2 days, like not on the counter. All in flames. But anyways, so we went to drop off the shaitel, and then we went to get pizza just for like lunch. And then I was like, okay, we're going to meet at Munchies. So we meet, I'm like laughing, like, okay, whatever, like this is a situation. So like you're in town anyway, so you can come see the preschool. I mean, I don't know how long this is gonna last, but like once we're back, just you'll come. You'll see the school and see if it's the right fit for you.
I mean, what's the overarching emotion right now today? Like what if you had to pick one emotion out of a bag that's like standing higher than all the other emotions? Are
Shock?
Yeah.
Like disbelief, sadness,
Do you think it's hit you yet?
hope. It does hit me like, okay, it's over. But I'm so filled with gratitude because the amount of people that are reaching out and supporting and just sending stuff, it's just like unbelievable. Really, like you see the community. First of all, our community, people have lost their homes and still helping people. The general Jewish community has been incredible, not just LA, the Valley, not just California, but like all over the world. My husband his parents are the Chabad rabbi and rebbitzin in Munich, Germany. Like their whole community is stepping up.
Wow.
All his aunts and uncles from his dad's side are all in Israel, and they've all been stepping up. Like everyone is reaching out.
Yeah.
So I'm just filled with gratitude, honestly.
I mean, at what point in the day do you realize that things are absolutely not how you anticipated and that at what point in the day or
So
the
it's
night
funny.
maybe?
It was, I'm trying to think when the video was of Chabad. Because I think it was around, someone texted me.
Did you find out from a video
Yeah.
that your house was?
Yeah, I'll get to that. But I didn't find out about my house till Wednesday.
Oh, right.
So Chabad, we saw on the news. We had 2 containers on the end of our parking lot up in flames. The menorahs we had just collected, because we had about, I think, 16 menorahs, maybe more, around town just for Hanukkah, up in flames. And like the irony is that we don't necessarily always put things away right away.
Right.
And this year we were on top of it. Up in flames. And we're really blessed. The fire was in the parking lot, and they had just done like brush clearance by the parking and like it's about a 3.5 acre facility.
Okay.
So there's the building that has the offices, the mikvah, the infant center, and then we have preschool classrooms, and then we also have these like trailer classrooms.
And you guys are required to clear your own brush? Is everybody required to clear your own brush?
Yeah, it's part of like fire standards.
So
whatever.
it's interesting because there's like I didn't even realize that people were required to, and yet still there's a brush problem. I don't know if that's mandated everywhere, but
I'm not sure. They like come around to make sure.
right. So Wednesday, you find out about the Chabad house from
So
the
Tuesday I found out people like, do you see Chabad? Chabad's on fire.
Oh
My God. But what was the case? It's like miraculous because Chabad, so the main building's standing, but the fire kind of did like a horseshoe. It hit a couple classrooms, but not all of them, hit the kitchen, the mountain, the parking lot, but I don't think it hit the building. And I'm convinced the mikvah protected that space.
like having the water.
I don't know.
Or even also the
it's so much, like they say mikvah saves lives. And the
Mikvah is
fact,
a ritual bathhouse.
Yes.
Used by men and women in Judaism, but in different capacities.
and ours is a woman's one.
okay.
So, yeah.
That's
I mean, I am a mikvah lady there some days, which is like an attendant to help if anyone needs help with it.
right.
And the night before there was an appointment there.
So the Chabad house is or is not
So
touched?
it's a property.
Right.
So the building with the mikvah, the shul, the infant center, offices is standing.
Okay.
Some classrooms burnt. Kitchen's gone. All of our storage, all of it, gone.
What was it? Like a large amount of storage?
A lot. 2 full containers, like those massive ones that you rent for storage.
Did you guys have fire insurance, or are you part of the people that the fire insurance doesn't?
So it's not really my department.
Yeah.
I think I don't know. I think so, but I'm not sure.
Because
Like
there's
what?
all this controversy with
It's a disaster.
even if you have fire insurance, do they actually help? Like,
So it's interesting. WhatsApp, I feel like, is a Jewish thing.
yeah.
But it's been introduced to the Palisades, and it's funny. Everyone thinks I started these chats, but I really didn't. I just know WhatsApp, so I'm able to like, okay, pin all the groups to the top, like certain things I know, and I've just been helping people like manage the groups to an extent. So they have groups of like every person, every type of insurance, because people are like, what is going on?
Right. And what insurance covers
Right. And then
what?
they also have groups of like different areas.
Right.
In the beginning, the initial day, it was does anyone know this address? This address. People were finding out from this WhatsApp group what's standing, what's not, because people snuck in to kind of find out.
I mean, everyone must have been so desperate to know the state
Of course,
of their home.
you see on the news. Have you been to the Palisades?
I've been to the
village.
Palisades.
Have you been to the village?
I've been to the village, and now, but I actually, oddly don't remember it so well up because I'm not a Palisades girl.
So how would you get there? Through Chautauqua or through Sunset?
Sunset.
So Sunset, like coming from like Santa Monica Boulevard?
I would go, yeah.
Okay. So Sunset. I know Sunset. So Chabad used to be in the village area, actually like right next to the village.
Okay.
So when my parents first got there, they started in Louis Kemp's house. So this is like a guy that had a big house in the in the Huntington,
Okay.
which is an area in the Palisades, big houses. Then his house had earthquake, was gone. They ended up moving to, they did it in, I don't know if they, I'm kind of like mixing things up probably, but they had shul in a bank in a
Okay.
community room. And then they took a spot in, like, they started with 1 storefront in this building, and then they took 2, and then 3, 4, and they ended up like getting that building, and they had like tenants on the bottom. But then when we got this property, they sold that building.
Your house or the Chabad?
The Chabad house.
Okay.
So, but I grew up like a block from there. Like, so I know Sunset. Everyone takes Sunset.
Right.
And I see the fire just plowing through houses. And I know people on that block, like on Sunset. And then I'm finding out Alphabet Streets. Alphabet Streets, like I grew up on Bester. That's one of the Alphabet Streets because it's according to the alphabet.
Right.
Gone. I just, one after the next. Sunset Mesa is another area. It has like Malibu and Palisades together. It's really close to Chabad. And my friend texts me. She's like, my house is gone. My house is gone. One after the next, after the next. Meanwhile, we have a building chat of like, because we're in condos.
Right.
And this guy's like, my Tesla's still showing temperature being normal. So I think our building is fine. So everyone's like joking, like the Tesla is the eyes of the building.
Well, the Teslas are kind of the eyes in some ways now. Everybody was gauging on how this Tesla was going to see if like the temperature of the area.
Exactly.
Are you're communicating with everybody in your community? Like your chat's popping off, your text?
Yeah. So Tuesday night, no sleep, in touch with people. People are in disbelief. I wrote to the Ohel, to the Rebbe, which is the leader of the Chabad movement. And I said, like, we need a blessing for this because this is not looking good. So that Tuesday night, I'm just seeing things on the news. I'm like, I can't take my eyes off the news. No sleep. And on like our family chat, we're like, this house is down. This house is down. This one. Oh, and very important, there's elderly people in the community that don't necessarily live with their family.
Right.
So we were working on getting these people out. My brother lives in a building. An 88-year-old deaf lady lived on the 4th floor, immobile.
Did somebody get her out?
And he's texting her. Her kids disowned her.
Oh, God.
And he's like, you got to get out. She's like, but I don't want to go in the elevator. And I can't go down the steps. He's like, you got to get out. We have connections with Tracy Park's office, who's like the councilwoman for our area. And we were able to coordinate first responders to come and get her. So my brother was texting this lady for hours. Like, I'm on the phone with you, get in the elevator. And she was taken to Cedars-Sinai, and like, that was one story. Another person calls, my parents they can't get out. People had stayed. They wanted to protect their properties. So this one guy, he's like still there, and he said, it's an emergency. If people are not out, they're going to die. He got that elderly couple out.
Wow.
Another guy has dementia, and he would not leave. Everyone was trying to get him out. Again, we were able to coordinate first responders to get him out. But story after story, just no one believed what the reality would be. And here we are.
I mean, have you ever lived through something like this before?
No.
I'm like, I know California has fires, but
not this extent.
This is.
I mean, there's the whole thing happened in Hawaii, but I think this is worse.
I think so.
So that was Tuesday night. So Tuesday night we stayed in a hotel. We have a family friend who put us up by the airport hotel, but like kids hotel, like one was not like really happening. So, like, so we knew that was just for the night. They were like, what do we do the next night? But Wednesday, we're all like kind of like in a daze, like in disbelief, shock, like what is going on here? And I get a text from my son's class, like his preschool class from last year, a mom, a friend that I'm friends with. She lives further up our block. She's like, I'm so sorry, Nechama. And I'm like, what? Like, sorry about Chabad, sorry about my building, because the Tesla is still showing.
That thing's
She sends me like a 4-minute video on text. And you know when iMessage like doesn't open the video and it's not opening, I'm like, send this to me on WhatsApp like right now.
WhatsApp is the MVP of the story.
Oh, totally. She sends it to me and it's a 4-minute video and I'm like waiting. And I know where it's coming from. So I'm like scrolling up and there I see my building up in flames and I just burst out crying because I'm calling people all day who've just lost their homes. I'm so sorry. And then it's your own home. And it's like, okay, yeah, this is crazy. Like, okay, well, there goes that clutter.
I mean,
unbelievable. So I burst out crying. I call my husband. I'm like, our house is gone. And my sister, we were all in the hotel still. So like, hey, come with me. We're going to walk. And like, she was giving me like regulation tips. She's like, if you're amygdala or something, like if you put your hands here, drink ice water, feel your feet on the ground, like just because I was like,
were you
not
leaving
breathing?
Here? Yeah,
you're not breathing.
Yeah.
I'm like, why this? Why that? My house, like, gone.
Yeah.
Yeah. Crazy. And I text my friend, I'm like, because another friend was like, hey, we got money, because when we were evacuating, we're getting money together just so you could like have stuff, like Uber Eats, like send me a gift card to Uber Eats, send me this, send me that. Like, we're here for you. And then when it went down, they like came together and I won the friends lottery. Like, I'm so blessed. Like, just like there for me and family. Like, I was like, what can we do? You could stay at my house. But like, we were all in such a shock. Like, we had to be together. My parents, us, my sister, my brother, we had to. Like, just there was so much like trauma. It's actually trauma. You're seeing your whole life go up in flames. You've invested years and relationships and like your good friends actually suffering. And people keep saying, oh, Palisades is wealthy. They have money. They have insurance. They have that. When you lose your house, you did not anticipate this. Like, I'm sorry. No, don't say that.
There's a real like have and haves nots conversation on the internet that's going on. People really have convinced themselves that I think people have really typecast LA as like a wealthy or celebrity, and they don't realize it's a city unlike anything else. And then in particular, people have really targeted Palisades. And I think it's part of this whole like polarized society we're living in, even if you look at like, you know, Israel, Palestine, you know, right, Democrat, Republican, there is a haves, nots conversation. And I think, but it's insane because,
because so many people, they they worked hard. They bought their first home. They're taking their new baby to their first home or their second child. People worked really hard, and even people that do have money and even supporters. Your life, your diamond ring, your handbags, and it's all, people say, oh, it's all stuff. It is all stuff, but it's yours, and it has the sentimental value. And like,
We are in
people,
a way sum total of all of our stuff. Like
Yeah.
it's all the things that house us, that clothe us, that feed us, that nourish us, like the bed you sleep in, the memories you make.
Yeah, and it's your home.
Yeah.
It's your home. It's where you gather, where you had fun. Gone. I don't care if you have money or not. And there's people that don't have money. They worked hard to get their home and then gone. Like, where do you start from? And not just that, schools being gone,
Yeah.
doctors all being gone, the kids.
What is going to happen with the schools? How are the kids?
So all the schools burnt, basically.
Are all
There's
the
the
kids are
public
home?
schools. Marquez is the elementary school. There's 2 elementary schools in the Palisades, Marquez and Pali. Both of them burned. Village School burned. Is a private school. 7 Arrows, I'm not 100%. Calvary, I think some of it burned. I think a couple of them other, but I know as far as the public schools, so one public school is being put in Brentwood Science Magnet. They're moving all the kids there. I think they're starting tomorrow. Marquez, they want to put them in a school which is like, parents are really upset because it's like a not good school. It's like under a freeway.
Right.
There's homeless encampments near.
Right.
They have terrible testing scores.
Right.
Like, what are you doing to our kids?
Right.
Why can't you just put everyone together?
Keep them
People are anyways moving because they can't live in the Palisades right now.
course.
So there's going to be lower enrollment. Why can't you just put everyone together? And apparently, I read on Facebook from someone's post, they had originally told them one place, and people made plans, leases, whatever, based off that thing. And then Friday, they changed their mind to a different school. Parents are livid. I mean, I just saw a friend like who her home is still standing, but like, what are you going home to right now?
Right.
And
You
the
can't
smoke
even go to the Palisades.
You can't even go right now.
Right.
You can't even go. Yeah, the National Guard's there, but she's saying she's going to check out this location of the school that everyone's up in arms of, because she's like, there's chats. Are you sending? Are you sending? Are you sending? She's like, it's not just about if you're sending, it's also about what the school is. Don't you want to know where your child will be? And then there's the part of you want to keep some consistency. Their friends, their teachers.
Of course.
I feel like it's COVID 2.0, but like worse.
Yeah, it is worse.
Because you don't have your stuff.
Yeah.
And
also COVID was happening to everybody.
Right.
And this is happening to just a specific amount, very
But it
specific.
kind of feels like everybody.
Yeah, it does.
Palisades is, just to explain it, it's a family. Everyone knows everyone. And if you don't know that person, you know someone that knows that person. Very connected community. Sweet people, nice people, giving people. And everyone's been affected. Everyone.
What are some things that people need urgently? What are some things that people could use right now?
Okay, so I'll tell you what's going on. So right now, the initial evacuation, people went to hotel or they went to Airbnb.
Okay.
So that was that, because you're going to go home, right? But then there was like, okay, either they extended their Airbnbs or whatever to like, but now as it's progressing, people are realizing like we need to figure out some sort of permanent, temporary, whatever situation. So you're like, I get calls all day. I have clothes, I have this. First of all, I know you've posted about it on your stories.
I was hoping you were going to bring this up.
Yeah.
Not to make it about me.
People really mean well.
I know.
Because they have stuff and they think it's good. But people have lost everything and they want to start fresh. And they want to like have dignity. I mean, and they also don't have space necessarily.
I know.
If you're in a hotel room, how much space do you have? So you want to keep it limited. So people just bring in clothes. So like it's what a friend did. Money is really good.
Number one.
Number one, money. Number one, specifics.
Because people can go out and get what their family prefers or their children, like you said, with continuity.
Yeah.
You want to keep the things familiar.
Something else, though, is personally, I went to Target on Friday and like grabbed a couple things, but I haven't gone shopping. Like I still need to go and get stuff. Like it just, everyone is like in like a state of shock.
Yeah.
Like, so people don't necessarily have the time to go because they're also dealing with FEMA, dealing with your insurance, dealing with where we're going to move to. So a friend, like my really good friend, came over on Sunday, asked her if her daughter can like watch my kids while I just was living.
Yeah.
And she's like, okay, what do you need? So, okay, she went to Nordstrom Rack. Like, I told her specific things. She's like, and here's a gift receipt.
Yeah.
Specifics. Like, I need this skirt.
Yeah.
And she was perfect.
Do you like for people to just, and I read this and I want to know if it's true straight from someone who's experiencing it. Do you want someone to just decide for you? Like, and help you?
So I'll tell you, it goes both ways. Like, I have the most amazing friends and the most amazing family who've just been like sending and sending and sending. So like, in a way, it's like, okay, I'm sending, like this friend was like, okay, I'm sending lunch and snacks for your son for the whole week.
Yeah. I love that.
Great.
One thing you don't have to think about.
So now
especially
I don't, and every day I know, like, I don't have to worry about packing snacks in this unstable situation.
I really love the thoughtfulness of that particular gesture. And that was a little bit what I was, just back to your point, what I was trying to articulate online about ways to help is like, you have to think about people's life and anticipate their needs. And to your point, everyone is on the move. So to just dump large piles of clothes is...
Like right now we have piles that we have to move for the 4th time.
Yeah.
And we have all this stuff. My mom's like, what are we doing with this stuff? So I'm like, I actually am like telling you, please pick up your stuff.
Yeah.
And again, like, it's not coming out of ungratefulness. It's just
people
reality.
Of course. Well, everyone's just trying to do what
right.
they...
No, 100%. Something else, like, people are sending over dinners. Amazing. Like,
I was going to ask you, but I was not going to send over. I was going to like get it from a restaurant.
Yeah. So you've ever been sent like home cooked meals is nice. Like, my family has really been doing that.
Yeah.
And like, I've been on the phone nonstop. So I was on the phone with a friend. I'm like, okay, what are your shoe sizes? She's like, Nechama, you don't get it. Like, all of our gifts from the holidays we just bought. And all this, like, our shoes, like, we didn't even get to go home. Miraculously, a neighbor saved their dog.
Oh my God.
Like, she was working in Santa Monica. Her husband is like an ER nurse, like an ER like head nurse in UCLA. They didn't get to go home. So I'm like, okay, send me the sizes, the shoes. We got it. This lady, Yocheved Atlas, you know her?
Yeah, I know of her.
She's like incredible.
Yeah.
Like, Nechama, what do you need? Amazing. I spoke to the lady, today is Tuesday. I spoke to the lady on Sunday. Yes, she was delivered to her door.
Yeah.
There's this Emek Hebrew Academy, Michelle, shout out to Michelle. Amazing. She's like, what do you need? Nonstop.
When people ask you what you need, are you able to articulate what you need?
But she's amazing how she did it. So yesterday we had a play date for the preschool families.
Saw that.
At Ball and Bounce. Shout out to Ball and Bounce too.
People are coming through.
He totally sponsored it, and Emek got Pacific Pizza, Nagila to sponsor the food, like lunch. Amazing. And they had all these people that had donated from Emek to like clean new underwear, socks. I said, get clothes for the kids, pajamas for the parents, reusable water bottles.
Okay.
I said toys. So Maman Nonprofit, are you familiar with them?
Yeah.
So they got Magna-Tiles. So I wanted every family to have Magna-Tiles, a small pack the kids could have at home, and just a bunch of toys. And then Shalhevet reached out. They have like a chesed part, and they had parents come and just organize all the stuff and make it good. They sent over like the social worker from Emek. Incredible. We're so lucky.
Yeah.
They sent the social worker from Emek and other therapists, social workers to be there yesterday. And
were they utilized?
Totally. And we all just needed it so badly. Our teachers came and they were able to like watch the kids, and parents were just like hugging each other and just crying and being there, and just, this is a crazy situation, but we have each other, and community is so important right now. I mean, LA has stood up. I mean, I went to OA. I mean, we have like one suitcase, and now we have all this stuff. Where am I putting it? In garbage bags?
You went to Away,
the suitcase store. They're giving suitcases.
Fantastic. Good job, Away.
Yeah. Okay, Aloe, 50% off.
Wow.
Like store after store after store.
People are doing the right thing.
Anin Bing.
Yeah. Yep.
All these stores are just stepping up to the plate. People are like, oh, send food. I'm like, okay, we don't have, right now we don't have the capacity to take things in. We don't.
Also, food could sometimes be an issue depending on like your level of observance.
Right. I mean, we wouldn't pass on not kosher stuff. Right. But aside from just food, also clothes. Like, we don't have, I keep telling them, like, I don't have a home right now.
Yeah.
And we also don't have our Chabad. So, like, I don't have where to store your stuff right now.
What happens in your body when you don't have anywhere to go?
It's interesting. So, I mean, we have each other, really.
Yeah, and you have your family.
We have my family, and that's just most important. So,
Where are you currently?
So my uncle is the Chabad rabbi in Beverly Hills, and he has a friend who really was, it's incredible. Like a big house in Beverly Hills and letting us stay there.
And you're all
But now
together.
people need to rent houses, which
Yeah.
is another problem, huge problem.
I know.
Housing. How do you have thousands of people who have a standard of living and will pay top dollar, and people are taking advantage? Houses that were $15,000 a month are now $30,000.
Saw that.
A $25,000 a month, the realtor offers $41,000, taken already.
Of course.
I mean, just last night, a friend reached out. Do you know this guy? He owns this house in Beverly Hills, like an Orthodox guy. So she figured maybe I would know him. I put it on my family chat. And I know him. Yeah, I know him. Please call him. Give it to this family. It's already taken. People are like, oh, I have off-market listings, but they're all taken.
Gone. Everything's gone.
And people know they're taking advantage.
Of course they are. And it's
sick.
illegal.
But who's monitoring it?
Nobody.
Because if you have short-term rentals, it's not under regulations.
There's no monitoring. And also, if people want to do bad things, they're going to do bad things. It's so unfortunate.
And people are so vulnerable and in such an awful state. Also, I mean, I was talking to another friend. She's like, I don't want to make commitments right now. I don't know what's going to be. Because, yeah, people are going to move back.
Yeah.
They have their houses there. So, yeah, you're going to get, you're not leaving the place you own.
Right. And like I said, it's your community.
Yeah, your community, but your community's not there.
Do you feel, you said before off camera that a trauma response for you is that you help other people.
Yeah.
Do you think that's you're doing your thing?
Yeah, that's how I'm surviving. I mean,
Yeah.
Friday was amazing. I'm also we're Shluchim, which is emissaries of
So
the
you
Rebbe.
run a community.
Yeah.
You're responsible for a community.
And there's a network of Chabads all over
Right.
California. And so I was in touch with my JEC parents, which is our Hebrew school. Okay, you're in Santa Clarita. Okay, there's this family at this hotel. Please bring them challah. They have 2 kids. Great. Send it. And then the mom texts the message you gave my children that a Jew is never alone.
Oh.
Another family in Oxnard called the Chabad. This family is in Oxnard. They're staying here. Can you bring over challah? Let's have them for Shabbat. Did a group text, had them over Shabbos dinner. They posted a post on Facebook. The kid put together this Lego and wrote Jew on his own. That's what he felt.
Yeah.
At the Shabbos dinner. His soul. Another family was in Terrania. That's where they just went.
Yeah.
Well, first they went to the Fairmont, and then that was Santa Monica. No, they were there, but then Santa Monica was kind of
so
evacuation.
How many times have you moved locations since?
So we've been in 3 locations so far. We're moving to our 4th went tomorrow morning.
Is the 4th something more permanent, or are you moving again? So, okay, in the interim, while you're moving, what's most helpful? It's hard to answer that.
Yeah, it's hard to know.
When I was thinking that too, and even when I felt silly even texting you, I'm I don't even know what am I even going to offer, because it's
it's crazy. It's really crazy. But back to the story. So this family that was in the Terrania, I was like, okay, I'm sending over challah. I contacted the Chabad. They were out of town, so the Chabad in Lamida brought over challah. And she's like, can you just also bring grape juice and candles? And she's like, of course. And they also brought other stuff. They brought it over. And then after Shabbat, she sent a text thank you so much for giving us that we can have Shabbat for the first Shabbat without a home. I
mean, I can't.
And it's story after story. I mean, the other day I was telling about Chabad, how they didn't have anything. She sent over shoes. You need this? Sending over. I mean, people have been sending us nonstop. They're sending packages. The Mercos, which is the organization of Chabads all over the world, they sent a package for each one of our families. So a tichel, which is a headscarf, covering your hair. Mm-hmm. I have one. So thank you for the other one. My sitter, I'm I like to daven in the morning. Gone. They sent that. All this stuff, toys for the kids.
It's just so incredible to see how so many different, that there's so many different appointees. Every school has appointees just to deal with this kind of thing, which they call chesed, which is just outreach charity. And but then you get sent like the books you need and your food. It's just incredible to see how everybody, and they've already mobilized so quickly and that they had what to mobilize.
Incredible. I mean, my son's class, they came together, they sent over uniforms. So again, I had two pairs of uniform. His teacher and like his class sent more uniforms. And because I haven't made it to Target. Like that one time I went Chabad like an hour before. So like that, and to City Target, which has nothing.
Yeah, the City Targets have nothing. Not shout out to City Target. They don't get a shout out.
They have nothing. I mean, I got this, so it worked out.
It
but
worked.
Like,
so you need everything.
Yeah, and like you keep like being like, oh, Q-tips. Oh,
right.
Like, okay, of course I brought a toothbrush, but like certain things that you don't think of 2 days.
Certain things, everything. You would take basically, I mean, outside of your jewelry and like your legal documents, and I'm so glad you remembered to take your marriage certificate. But like outside, you don't take anything.
Oh, well, actually, we don't have our legal marriage certificate. Now that you bring that up.
But that one's a little easier because you can order a certified copy. We just had to do it because we're getting Lila a passport. Okay, so I mean, people really want to help. They feel kind of helpless. They feel like they're watching. I think it's also very hard for people to even comprehend, really. You grew up in the Palisades, specifically meaningful to you, but also sometimes if you're not there, it feels like it's something that's happening for someone else somewhere far away. And so what are some practical things, if you don't even live in California, that you could do to help?
Okay, so there's certain families, like right before, as I was coming here, so I told you about those WhatsApp groups. So I saw how she responded to someone's post about like that by the Bergman station, they have like jeans and whatever. And I saw where she wrote, are there any other places to get stuff? And I'm like, oh my God, she lost her house. So too. Like I didn't ask, so I right away messaged her. She's like, yeah, it's crazy. I lost my minivan. I lost my everything. She's like, my grandmother's Haggadah. Everything gone. And she has 3 little kids. She's a fertility doctor. Her husband also has a job. But still, like, these are working parents, 2 working parents, working hard. And they have nothing. So if you get in touch with us, what I'm telling you, okay, can you adopt this family?
Someone asked me about adopting a family. Are you down?
So right now, I have certain families, like, and even families that do have stuff, they also need the love, you know?
Nobody in the whole world, regardless of their socioeconomics, deserves to have something like this happen.
100%.
And it's crazy that we even have to state that, but it's really the truth. So people, they want to, contribute. We're going to obviously have the link in the show notes for your GoFundMe.
Yeah, and we have our Chabad, because people also are like, oh, Chabad, miracle, it's intact. I'm like, the building's intact, but there's millions of dollars in damage right now.
Absolutely.
And there's a whole large payroll of staff that without people there, how's that going to be covered?
Right.
I mean, there's a lot of teachers who some are single moms and they drive far, they love their job. And I mean, thank God, hopefully we'll be finalizing a satellite location for our preschool.
Okay.
So hopefully that. But again, there's people that already moved to Orange County.
Wow.
Or are moving for now, because
there's the impact on community. I mean, it's going to be interesting.
I know it's gonna take time, and it's gonna be rough, the next bit. But I know we're hopeful it's going to come back. And Palisades it's funny. I don't know if you ever saw a t-shirt that says, if you live in Beverly Hills, you're rich. If you live in Malibu, you're famous. And if you live in Palisades, you're lucky. And we always felt that we're lucky. I mean, now the lucky star is somehow.
Wow.
But we always felt lucky, and we still feel lucky.
What do you think that's about? Like, why? Because Palisades?
Lucky. Because it's just like an amazing community.
Yeah.
Amazing community. Amazing people.
And beautiful.
Beautiful. Like, it's just so accessible. Like right now we're seeing Beverly Hills, and it's like hard to get to.
Yeah.
Like no one talks about that. Malibu's far.
Yeah.
Palisades is very central. Like you get to get to school, to get to my kid's school, and to drive him there, easy. I mean, driving back is the traffic because you're heading to Santa Monica, and like I leave 3:00 to get to him 4:00.
Right.
So I sit in traffic. My son doesn't. But mostly the traffic is not too bad.
Right.
I mean, obviously it's like the general law of LA, like nothing, don't leave anywhere from like 3:45 till 7:30.
Yeah.
But it's just community. The community is amazing. The schools are great.
Do you think a lot of people are gonna move, like not come back and move elsewhere?
It's hard to know.
Yeah.
Again, one of the WhatsApp groups is rebuilding the Palisades.
Yeah.
LA has a lot of red tape, so hopefully they loosen that.
They did. They already did. I saw Newsom signed into order that all sorts of like inspections, all sorts of things that basically there's like some sort of exception that you can make under, these kinds of circumstances, and it's been like rebuilding. They said
Honestly,
it's going to be fast.
I'm hopeful because I think
but
there's a lot of influence. There's a lot of influencers.
Yeah.
Like not influencers like in Instagram. Like there's influential people.
With influence, right?
People with influence in the Palisades. And people really love the Palisades.
Yeah.
I know it's gonna come back. I mean, the Chabad Shlucha in Sonoma reached out to my mom and they had fires there.
Yeah, oh, that's right.
And she told her it was hard, but people built beautiful homes. They have so much more meaning in their life now.
Yeah.
Like it came back. Like
I was gonna ask you about that. I know don't even have that much distance and space to even really process from then to now. But there must be just some radical shifts in your whole consciousness that just change that can never go back about what matters.
100%. And what I kept thinking that first Tuesday night, I'm like, I'm in a hotel right now, one room with all my kids. And this has been the reality for people in Israel for the last over 400, what's the exact number of days?
Yeah.
And they were escaping terror.
Yep.
We have each other. We haven't lost anyone. And we're lucky. We're so blessed. We have each other. We have community. We're not running away from rockets. So yeah, we did lose our home, as did many of them.
Yeah.
But we have each other and we have community and just we're very blessed. So it's just
that's probably the best way to just look. I mean, like, what could be better than that? Like, you're right. It sucks that it takes something like this to remind us.
And even like the images though are so crazy because you see the cars because it's like Nova.
Did you lose your cars?
So we thank God didn't lose our car, but a couple cars were burnt at Chabad.
By the way, it did look like Nova. It looked like the Nova Festival.
Yeah, because you see the cars just abandoned on fire. And also, it was crazy because the police said to leave their cars. People took their keys. So people were stuck.
Yes, I saw
That's
that.
like a bulldozer.
That's what people were instructed to leave the keys so that they can move the cars, but also nobody's going to leave the keys in the car because also now the looters. Come on. The Palisades can't catch a break.
No, it's crazy. But that's why they're being very strict right now. You can't get in unless you have like a press pass.
Yeah.
Even if you say, I need to get my medicines, no, you cannot go in.
Yeah.
So I don't know if you know Joel Pollack. He's like in Breitbart. He's a senior editor there. So he has been going in like basically every day. So I was speaking to him. His house actually miraculously survived.
Wow.
And he said he thinks a neighbor saved his house because he saw the hose was like strawn out and it like burnt part of his gate, but it didn't touch his house. And he called me, we were having a Zoom for the parents about like how to support yourself, how to support your kids, and like and actually a mom, like a alumni mom, her house in 2023 got destroyed from a mudslide.
Oh, right.
So she was able to like say, I'm on the other side.
Yeah.
Like, yeah.
Which is
hard.
important.
Yeah, no, it was people, like that was really helpful.
Yeah.
Her giving her story. But he called me before. He's like, I just want to tell you the story that he brought in like another reporter from Breitbart who also had, I think, a house in the Palisades, but it was too much for him to go. And he brought him with, and he was showing him his house, and they saw in the like a smoke, like there was another fire. Because he had brought his friend, he was able to like save again his house.
Oh my God.
So like little acts of kindness, like, yeah.
So you're kind of, I'm sure you're focused on servicing community, keeping things as normal as possible, finding a satellite location, supporting your community. I'm sure people really just need like some holding, physical,
Yeah.
emotional, spiritual,
100%.
right?
100%. So
There's
it's just
nothing else to
nonstop.
offer people.
Nonstop. And I'm trying to like, my brother last night was saying that he's on one of the groups and was saying like, it's not all doom and gloom. We're finding out more people that have houses. Yes, it's going to take time, but like there have been houses that build in 8 months.
Yeah, that's true.
So if you have the finances, you have the builders. And I mean, someone was saying like tariffs, like if things are going to become
Right.
complicated.
And I heard that you still have to pay your mortgage even if your house is burnt in a fire. Is that
Yeah.
true?
Yeah, or like you can maybe freeze it or something.
I was pretty
And you have to
shocked.
put property taxes, like
Right, property
something
taxes
like that.
don't stop.
There's something with the property taxes though, like
Yeah.
some sort of relief. But like our HOA of our condo is still wanting to collect the money. Like what for the rubble? Like $36,000
How do
between
they
all
do-
the units. Like what? Because there was a Zoom on Friday with our HOA and
And that's
they're
what
like-
they said at the Zoom after this all happened.
so
that the
I
dudes-
wasn't on it, but like people were really upset. Like what is this?
This is why I actually only just learned about this whole fact that you still have to continue paying for everything, even if you lose your house. And I'm like,
Well, you still own the
the
property.
right, the property, but
But they're like, okay, even if to keep the building manager on like some sort of pension, but not 36,000 a month.
yeah,
But people lost so much. There was like original Picassos in people's houses, art. Like think of let's say there's to get a house in the Palisades like minimum probably 2.5 for like minimum for like a tear down, right? So think of the value plus everything that was inside of there. And people got pulled from insurance months ago.
I know.
Recently.
That whole insurance thing was
It's
major.
and the fire hydrants did not have water.
I know. I did.
So
No, they had water. They were low. Some of them were low.
some did not have water.
I saw a video about this. I actually I'm somebody who really wanted to jump on this hating the government bandwagon, and I'm not impressed with our government, and there was certainly missteps, but I did hear that basically when you're looking at a fire of this magnitude, it's very difficult for almost any infrastructure, no matter where you are in the world, to be able to have enough water.
And the winds were also bad.
Right.
But there's I forget what it's called, where like the water is stored. What is it called?
Oh yeah, reservoir.
Empty.
Well, the Silver Lake Reservoir has been empty for a while. That's my walk every weekend, so I know it, and it has been empty for a long, long time.
So, yeah.
I think they're redoing it or something.
No, ours was empty. I'm not sure why it was empty.
Yours was also empty?
In the Highlands, it was empty.
Oh, interesting.
And then apparently someone was saying, I don't know, like...
Why are all the reservoirs empty? Well, we don't have any rain. What are we
No,
reservoiring?
we had rain last year.
That's
Why
true.
weren't they storing
But I think
the
it
rain?
comes in the mountains anyway, the
I don't
reservoirs.
know. But they were not storing the rain. But also we're right by the ocean. Like, why can't they take the water from there? I don't know.
Okay,
you unpack that.
I asked all these questions. The reason you can't take water from the ocean is because it's extremely corrosive.
Okay.
It would almost be as destructive as a fire. It's salt water, so it destroys everything in its wake. However, in a situation like this, you would take water from the ocean because one is we'll suffer with maybe corrosion, but we save thousands of homes. I mean, listen, in the aftermath, we're going to find out so much about management or mismanagement or what happened, but that conversation is a moot point right now because it doesn't bring people's homes back or their,
No, 100%. I mean, now they're saying if it was an arson, and then if it's an arson, if it affects the insurance,
there's
and I mean,
a lot of
but
questions.
the Palisades Village is standing, which
I
is
know.
people are really hating on Mr. Caruso, but I don't think there's a problem. Why couldn't he protect his own property?
If you're paying for it from your own private dollars and you have the means
And
to
that's
protect
about the haves and have-nots also. But
Yes.
no, let him have. And I actually look at that as a good thing, the fact that it's still standing, because he's going to want the Palisades to be rebuilt.
Yep.
Because without the people.
Yep.
And they've been amazing.
It also shows the possibility of what happens when the proper care is taken to take care of these communities. He didn't do anything. He just took matters into his own hands.
100%. I mean, people were trying to get private firefighters. Some people did. They got people from Florida.
Yeah, that's crazy. The private firefighter thing to me is wild because I'm like, shouldn't we just have enough firefighters to help everybody? But we don't. But who could ever anticipate this? I guess they did anticipate this. We were California is a drought state where we are fire
But
prone.
not to this magnitude. I mean,
No.
there's been the Malibu fires, but like, okay, it's people have lost homes, but not to this extent.
Yeah.
I mean, but back to the village. So we just did we do every year, we partner with them to do a big menorah lighting there.
Okay.
And so I work with these, like their event coordinators, and they reached out last night. Nechama, what can we do? We have kids club every, like, I don't know, Wednesday or Thursday at like Calabasas and Palisades. Like, we have them booked already. Tell us where, and you can use our entertainers.
Wow.
Like,
People are showing up.
being there, and just, I'm like so scared on missing people because people have been amazing, and I don't want to miss anyone that like has been like so many grand. And like,
you get a hall pass.
Okay.
If you forget anything or you know what I mean. I think it's amazing that I think it's helpful to have a community to focus on.
Totally.
Right? Because
that's how I'm surviving. I'm surviving from the love and like care of everyone. My friends, my family, like nonstop.
Yeah.
And also that I like have something to do, like something to focus on and be there for other people.
Yeah. They say if you want to feel like you don't have problems, take on bigger problems. And essentially that's what you've done. Like, you have a pretty big problem on your hands. But
That's avoidance or
no, but you're taking on other problems, which is like as well, in addition to.
Right.
As long as you don't neglect your own. Like,
kind of. I mean, I have to deal with like all this stuff. My own like FEMA insurance, all like figure all that stuff. But
well, there's going to be time in the coming days. So, I want to grab something, okay? Okay. If you're listening, you might want to switch to visual. Okay, actually, the visuals, it's more of vocal, but still. Okay. Just some really, really quick things.
Oh my gosh.
Get to some bigger things. Okay.
You're so
Listen,
sweet.
after our conversation, like, it even feels silly. You've gone through literally so much, like, and so we're not trying to, God forbid, say that this is a compensation for what you've been through. We're just trying to lighten the load for you a little bit. I'm a skincare girly. You follow me on Instagram, so I just wanted to make sure that, like, and also my skin's burning. The air is
It's
harsh.
bad, yeah. I feel it in my throat.
It's toxic, and I'm burning. And I'm like, if we could just make your skin feel a little bit better,
thank you.
and we'll go through everything of like what it is. And
okay, amazing. Wow,
Candace
thank
really
you.
wanted you to have this. I ran to an inn for you yesterday.
Thank you.
This. Okay, but we weren't sure what the status of what you were able to take or not take. So, Yaffie Begun Wigs and Salon Leah both wanted to collaborate and get you a brand new wig.
Oh my God.
Like, just exactly, fitted to you. Leah's going to customize it for you.
Oh my
Yaffie wants to gift you one. We want to just, can I actually just give a hug? I hate stuff in exchange for real emotions, but we just want you to feel a little love in whatever form we know how. And women often just want to make sure that, like, the stuff that we're used to, this stuff,
Wow, thank you so much. Oh my God, thank you.
I know it's just
It's crazy because like someone, like my mom's friend, like reached out to her about like also like she wants help with the wigs, but my mom was like, listen, they did take their wigs out, like they got it. So she felt like not. If we want, like, we don't want to take things because there's other people in need, but I can't thank you enough. Wow.
No, this stuff is important. We want to help you just feel like you have a little boost, a little step up, a little lift during this time.
Wow, thank you so much.
And
really,
we love you, and we're going to put a link to the GoFundMe in the show notes. If there's a
Chabad one, so you can put that there.
I'll put both, so you can you could support both, you could support one or either.
Wow,
we want to lift you up during this time and really just let you know that you're not alone.
Thank you.
And we're all one big family.
Wow, I have no words.
You don't need any words.
Thank you so much. Wow.
You don't need any words.
Thank you. Wow.
Thank you for doing this today.
100%.
If there's any updates or any things that you want to change or continue adding, we want to be updated. We're involved and we care. And I'll just continually update if we need to in the show notes, like how people can help, just so we can come through for people.
I have no words. Thank you so much. I'm really thank you to every single person who's reached out. Like, people just keep texting me, like, I'm thinking of you. And like, even if I don't respond, I see the messages and they really help.
Yeah.
Get through the days.
Yeah.
It feels like one long,
Does feel like a long day.
ending day, especially when you're not sleeping.
Yeah.
But like really that's what's keeping us going, and the love and the care, and like I don't know, I'm filled with love. I'm filled with like so much gratitude for all of this. And like it's sorry that it had to happen this way to realize how loved we are. I mean, I always know I'm loved. I love my friends and I love my family.
Yeah,
like
it's
they
like
care. But like I'm like, what? Like what do you
know.
like what?
You get reminded.
Yeah.
You get reminded in these times.
I mean, people keep saying like friends, like again, people they're okay, like financially, let's say, and so they feel bad taking. I'm like, no, you have to take. You have to take. People want to be there for you. That's how you let them. If they were in that situation, you'd be doing the same thing.
Yeah.
And like my friend,
I think that's a really important distinction, like for now, because you mentioned we texted that the Palisades are not a taking community.
100%.
But that's an important thing. And in our lives, I think there's gonna be a point where we need to go from you need to be able to give and you need to be able to accept.
Yeah, and it's truly humbling.
It is, right? But that's also how people show their love. And so if you don't accept, then you deny people their ability to show up and love you in this way.
Yeah, no, 100%.
So I don't want to take up too much of your time because I know you have things.
This is actually really helpful.
I thought it might be.
It's nice to like talk it through. It was funny because yesterday my husband's doing all these interviews like on Israeli news and like regular news and all these things, and then they called me yesterday from like the Mishpacha magazine.
Yeah. Oh God.
And I'm like, okay. I'm like, well, I guess I'm going to podcast tomorrow. It's like practice, but like it was like actually nice to kind of like talk through it. So
Plus, people do say they forget that they're like, I thought I was just like sitting and talking to you, but I hope we got to do
really
that today.
Thank you. Yeah. And this, wow, really.
Listen,
thank you.
this is just little hugs in product form. But if there's anything we could do, anything you need, please, 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 offline, nothing to do with any of this. I'm here for you. And that like our community, my community absolutely wants to be there for you.
Thank you. And if people want to support the community and like actual stuff, like message me on Instagram. I mean, I'm private, so I don't know how that works, but.
Well, they could still message you.
But I guess they could still message me. I'll see it. And like, I could be like, okay, this family needs this. Like right now I'm telling people, okay, send Legos to this family, send art to this family. Okay. Send Uber Eats gift cards. So just message me on Instagram.
DM you on Instagram is the best way to get in touch with you.
Yeah, or you can text me. It's hard to keep track of all the texts.
Well, I'm not putting your number in the show notes.
Yeah, don't. Lose my number. Okay.
I'll put your Instagram.
Yeah, you get my Instagram. Okay. Or actually better yet, message the Chabad account, the Chabad Palisades account.
Okay.
Because that way, I mean, I have my personal stuff on Instagram, so it's like hard to keep track if someone new comes in there. Go to Chabad.
Perfect.
I manage that one, and I can talk to people.
Thank you so much for today. And
thank you.
We're rooting for you and wishing you all the best.
Okay,
Stay safe.
Thank you so much. Wow. I have no words.
I know. Sorry we had to shock you with that online.
Oh my gosh. Wow.
Okay, that's last week you were going for Chafei Shvat.
Oh my gosh. Wow. Can't believe it.